But at the same time, there is a game that's sort of interesting. Georgia travels to Kentucky. Georgia is a 22.5-point favorite in the Betfred Sportsbook. The over-under is 49.5. In a slow college football Saturday, this is your SEC game of the week. It'll be Brad Nessler and what's his face there, Gary Danielson. And what I would say is, let's talk about it. So Kentucky 6-4 coming off that loss to Vandy. We're going to get to them in a second. But on the flip side, I've been thinking a lot about Georgia. And it's kind of crazy to me. They're the best team in the country, in my opinion. It might not be close. I mean, the way they handle Tennessee. Now, I think if they play Tennessee again on a neutral, it would be more competitive. But at the same time, I think they take care of business against Michigan, Ohio State, certainly USC, certainly Clemson. So Georgia, to me, is the best team in the country. Here's the crazy part to me, though. I think they're getting better as the season goes on, which is scary for everybody else in college football. Obviously, we saw them 2 weeks ago against Tennessee in that de facto SEC East title game. But then last week, I think it's important to note. I mean, Mississippi State came in 6-3 and on the fringes of the top 25. They beat them 45-19 in a game that was not close. They finished with over close to 500 yards passing, average about 5.5 yards per carry. And here's the thing that I think stands out to me coming into this one. A week after they just completely shut down that Tennessee pass offense, they basically shut down the Mississippi State pass offense as well. Mississippi State came in averaging about 330 yards passing per game. They were held to 261 yards passing, about 5 yards per completion. So really limited the big plays from Mississippi State. And to me, that's kind of important coming into this one, and I'll tell you why. The reason it's important to me is because when I look at this game, think about it like this. So Kentucky really struggles to move the football on the ground, okay? They have one of the worst rushing attacks in the country, and I get it, right? Part of it is their best running back, Chris Rodriguez, wasn't available till about week 4 of the season. I get that. That happens. It doesn't change the fact that they rank 104th nationally in rushing. They actually have a worse rushing attack than Texas A&M, if you can believe that. And they have the second worst rush offense in the SEC, behind only Mississippi State, who does not try to run the ball. And so why I bring it up, I think you know where I'm going with this. If you can't run the ball, and Tennessee and Mississippi State, they couldn't scheme open their wide receivers. In other words, Josh Heupel couldn't draw up a play to get his wide receivers open. I don't think Mark Stoops and Rich Scagnarello are going to be able to, nor are they going to be able to run the ball. And so I hate to be overly simplistic with the analysis here, but at the end of the day, if you can't run the ball, you're not going to be able to throw the ball on this Georgia secondary. This one could get ugly. I like Georgia minus the 22.5 in the Betfred Sportsbook. The other thing to consider, too, is the under of 49.5. Last 3 times these teams have played. 30-13 last year in Athens. 14-3 last time these two teams played in Lexington. 21-0 3 games ago when they played again in Athens in 2019. That was, I believe, in a monsoon. I think that was the year Lynn Bowden was the running back / wide receiver / quarterback for Kentucky. Point being, none of these games have gone over 43 in the last 3 years, and 2 of them have not gone over 21. The under is probably the smarter play. I also do like Georgia to cover the points. All right, so what I want to do, take a quick break. Do want to come back